David Crockett Birthplace State Park in Limestone, Tennessee. This park is where I felt belittled for a handicap problem with my limited mobility issue. But let's talk about the fun stuff before we talk about that. Tennessee state parks are free, so that makes it easier to visit.
And we have pear trees. This is the Stonecipher Cabin.
Careful walking up the steps if you need something accessible.
This would have been used to bring things in out of the garden or perhaps pick pears off the tree. Brooms in that time period were homemade. Get you a glimpse of the inside of the cabin here maybe.
Let's go see more of the Davy Crockett birthplace. I'm going to stop in the visitor center for a few minutes and tell you why that's important when we get there. Driving carefully because the speed limit is 10 in the park and 5 in the campground. And while we're driving, let me invite you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you've not already done so.
The park is on the Sunnyside Trail and also the Tennessee Civil War Trail. There is a swimming pool right over there, but it's closed due to COVID. But it does have a picnic. I'm sorry, it does have a basketball court.
If you've got mobility issues, be aware it's kind of a walk from the parking lot up here. But I'm traveling across Tennessee to show you places that are compatible possibly with social distancing and to support small businesses. That includes state park gift shops like this one. It is paved though, so that makes it easier.
I see them.
That's 15 minutes. Okay, I'm good.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you.
Your support makes a YouTube impact because you all are how I can make a little donation or buy a little something at a gift shop that helps the park and provides brochures and info like this.
Yeah, $29.98. There's your card back, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now I see some signs say Davy Crockett and some signs say David.
Well, see, long before the state took over the park, this little park was ran by our local rotating club. The state took it over in about 73 or so. And then about a year or two ago, they decided to change the park from Davy to David because he didn't go by Davy. He always wrote everything, signed everything as David Crockett.
Interesting. Thank you very much. The map is just flat hard to read. But we've already found the visitor center, and I'm optimistic we can find the farmstead/homestead, and we're going to drive by the picnic area and shelter. So there's still a fair amount I can do despite the mobility issue and foot drop. Let's hop to it.
So I heard a couple of people mention about waterfalls near here. So I asked a park ranger just to make sure, and the park ranger here said that there are no waterfalls, that people get confused between waterfalls and the shoals.
I don't know how they do that, but that's what she said, and she's the park ranger and should know.
Now the best place to see these is at the campground.
The Davy Crockett Birthplace State Park, you're going to hear this referred to as a farmstead. A farmstead is designed with a farm in mind, whereas a homestead centers around the home. These aren't the actual buildings used by David Crockett and his family, but even so, I mean, it gives us an idea of what life would have been like for David Crockett and his siblings growing up here.
Oh, we have animals over there. I'll have to go see what kind.
Donkeys, a horse. I think I saw a sheep go into the building. Plus, we saw the other animals too.
Now this is actually supposed to be a road going down to a boat launch.
We are concerned that space could be a little tight and are not going to try it with our travel trailer behind us. The historic marker was placed here by the Davy Crockett Historical Society in 1890 to pay tribute to the contributions made by David Crockett. I'm always amazed to see a monument that's so old in such good shape. Are y'all surprised too? Leave me a comment to let me know.
That's a memorial to Margaret Catherine Crockett, 1780 to 1802.
That's his sister.
And this, of course, commemorates Davy Crockett as a pioneer, a patriot, a soldier, trapper, explorer, state legislator, congressman, and of course, he was killed at the Alamo. Lived from 1786 to 1836. Accomplished much in his life. Now, David Crockett grew up in extreme poverty. When he was 12, he was sold off as an indentured servant. That was common during that time. These days, we couldn't even bear to think about sending our 12-year-olds, our preteens, off to be taken care of by somebody else, even if it was to learn a trade. But life was hard. He had no formal education until the age of 12, and he was only educated for 6 months. But he gained the skills to be one of the famous outdoorsmen, and perhaps even the most famous outdoorsman to come from Tennessee. He was also a statesman, and of course, trapper, explorer, so forth that we just mentioned.
We're going to drive on over to the picnic area. Now, these are rentable for either $46 or $77. It depends on which one you want to rent. And I'm told that a group may be over there already setting up, which is why we're just going to drive by instead of going in and using it. Yep, people at the picnic pavilion. But you can still see the volleyball court and the parking lot and the playgrounds. There's even a little bench over there for parents and a picnic table. Those are nice amenities. This is the main road in and out of the campground. It is 2-lane. It is narrow. So you still may have to stop and let somebody else pass, especially if you're pulling an RV or if they are. The main road is nice and wide. I'm showing this to you to give you a contrast between coming in and out of the campground and the main highway. That way you'll know what you're looking at in case you're pulling a trailer. Oh look, they're running radar. All right, folks, watch your speed if you come down through here. So what do you think of the state park? Let me know, leave that in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and for sharing it with your friends on social media. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, my links are down below. And remember, it's always #BeBodacious. Don't let life get in the way of living. Thanks for watching. Check out these. They're popping up on your screen right now, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.